by the time trying to create some shade for you.
Good morning. My name is Jim Fallis, and I am the assistant principal here at Archbishop Mitty. On behalf of the Archbishop Mitty community, we are pleased to welcome you to our 55th annual commencement exercises. At this time, I would ask our guests and our graduates to please be seated. Thank you. Seated on the stage behind me are Ms. Kristen Zaney, President of the Board of Regents, Mrs. LaTanya Hilton, President of Archbishop Mitty, Ms. Kate Caputo, Principal of Archbishop Mitty, Mr. Keith Matthews, our Associate Principal, and Father Daniel Lucia, Archbishop Mitty Chaplain. Isabel Olier, a member of the class of 2022 and a member of the campus ministry Life Corps, will lead us in prayer this morning.
In the name of the Father, and of the Son, and of the Holy Spirit. Amen. God of all creation, we thank you for all of the blessings you have given us these past 4 years. Please let us show our gratitude for the experiences and valued education we've received here at Archbishop Mitty. Let us never forget the loving community of our parents, teachers, coaches, and friends that have guided and supported us with courage, wisdom, and faith that we will use to help us to proceed to the next stage of our lives' journey. Help us to recognize that today is a new beginning for each of us, and to help us to continue seeking truth and knowledge as we take our first steps onto college and into the future. May we remember all that has given to us. Help us to be men and women of compassion, integrity, faith, hope, and love as we learned here at Archbishop Mitty. With great anticipation for a future filled with opportunity, we thank you, Lord. Keep our hearts on fire. Amen.
Good morning. It's my honor to introduce the students selected from among the graduates as the class Salutatorian. The person chosen as the winner of the school's Salutatorian Award has the honor of delivering a speech of welcome this morning. The Salutatorian is an individual who is an outstanding student academically, who has maintained an exceptionally high grade point average, has taken the most challenging course load offered at the school, has demonstrated an excellent facility in both written and oral expression, is perceived as a top scholar by the junior and senior year honors and AP teachers, and represents well the values of Archbishop Mitty High School. The salutatorian for this year's class is Amy Gruber. A genuine scholar, Amy brings a superior intellect and an unbridled enthusiasm to each class session. In her 4 years at Mitty, she has maintained a grade point average of 4.71, having taken and received an A in 12 different advanced placement classes. In fact, in every single graded course taken over the past 4 years, Amy earned an A. She's a National Merit finalist and has been named by the College Board as an AP Scholar with distinction. She's been recognized 13 times with an AMHS departmental certificate. And as a senior, she was recently named the Department Medallion recipient in English, Social Studies, Speech and Debate, and Religious Studies, as well as a winner of the prestigious General Excellence Award and the Gary Brya Service Award. On campus, Amy is a leader, serving as the president of the Mitty Advocacy Project. Of particular note this year has been the group's efforts to animate the Bay Area Teaching for Justice Initiative of February 2022. Amy also serves as president of Mitty Speech and Debate, winners of the state title in 3 of the last 4 years. She's been an individual 3-time qualifier for the state tournament and champion of this year's Martin Luther King Invitational. Amy is a leading member of the Campus Ministry Life Corps, serving as a driving force in the planning of campus liturgies and as a leader on 2 retreats this year, Quest and Kairos. And as a junior, she undertook the school's ECJ Jamaica virtual immersion trip. In what spare time remains for her, Amy devotes hours each week as a caregiver to the elderly. She will be attending UCLA in the fall, majoring in neuroscience. Please welcome to the stage the salutatorian for the class of 2022, Amy Gruber.
Welcome to Archbishop Mitty's 55th commencement ceremony. And congratulations, not just on graduating, but also on making it here on time at 9:16 on a Saturday morning. That's pretty impressive in its own right. Other typical Saturday mornings at this time, you might be at warm-ups for a game, or at a debate tournament, or trying to squeeze in homework before heading to a job, or if you're anything like me, still blissfully asleep in bed. It's hard to fully comprehend just how many of these Saturdays have passed in the past 4 years, punctuating the ends of the many weeks spent on this campus, in those classrooms, on this football field, with these people. And when I think about these 4 years, I am in awe and in fear of how much time has gone by so quickly. It's hard for me not to feel trapped by this passage of time, suffocated by the endless ticking of the clock. But anytime I feel scared or overwhelmed, I turn to the one person I can always count on, Star Trek's Captain Jean-Luc Picard. In his words, someone once told me that time was a predator that stalked us all our lives. But I rather believe that time is a companion who goes with us on the journey and reminds us to cherish every moment because they'll never come again. As usual, Captain Picard is right. Time allows us to remember fondly and rediscover faithfully and reemerge fearlessly. Because when we look back and reflect, we see ourselves in new lights and realize new insights. We may not be the same people we were as easier to please ninth graders, but those people are still part of us. Time allows us to forget, which helps us to forgive, because our relationships with friends and family may be imperfect, but they are also resilient. They grow amidst hardship and blossom through shared joy. Time allows us to see change, make change, and be change. Because in just these past 4 years, the world has proven itself to be desperately in need of change, and we've proven ourselves to possess the passion and power to take it on. Most importantly, time enables us to find the meaning in our lives and the people who truly matter to us. Because the people who matter transcend time and memory and matter. It's been said that there's only one thing more precious than our time, and that's who we spend it on. So to everyone in the audience today, thank you for spending your time on us. Friends and family, your love and support throughout the past 4 years are the reasons we are all here today. Thank you for the early mornings and the late nights and the long days and the endless praise and the many ways you have loved us, even when we may have made it difficult for you to like us. Teachers and mentors, your wisdom and passion have shaped us into scholars and scientists, athletes and actors, musicians and mathematicians. More than anything, you have equipped us with the skills to embrace the challenges of our future and face the rest of our lives with love. And finally, fellow graduates, it's now 9:20 and you're still awake. That's a huge accomplishment on its own and proof that this speech is more engaging than Zoom classes. In all seriousness, I can't expect that these past 4 minutes summed up your past 4 years. But I do hope that they reminded you of the beautiful, imperfect times you spent at this school and the beautiful, imperfect people you spent them with. So class of 2022, as we move from this era of our lives to the next, from this Saturday to the many ahead of us, let's treat time as our friend, our guide, our mentor, our companion. Let's follow the words of Captain Picard and cherish the moments we have now, while also preparing to let them go anyhow. Let's surround ourselves with those precious people whom we wish to waste time with. And let's move with the current of time rather than against. Because if we do that, then we've already commenced. Thank you.
Now please welcome in her address to the graduates of 2022, the President of Archbishop Mitty, Mrs. LaTanya Hilton.
Well, thank you, Amy, for that inspiring speech. It's not easy to come up here and share such insights in front of so many people, so please give Amy and Adarsh, who will be speaking a little bit later, a lot of love today, y'all. Well, good morning, everyone. Welcome. If this is your first time at Archbishop Mitty High School, welcome to our beautiful campus. If you are a Monarch alum, welcome home. If you are the class of 2022, let me hear you make some noise. I hope you guys feel as good as I do seeing you sitting there. To those of you who love Mitty, may your love be everlasting. To those of you who are feeling some kind of way, I pray your memories lead you back here with fondness. To those of you who can't wait to get up out of here, neither can we. It's been a long year. On the first day of school last August, I arrived at school early. I've always loved getting to school early on the first day to welcome students and be present for the growing excitement of as the students arrive on campus. Except this year was different. It was the first time all 2,000 members of the Mitty community would gather back together in person after a year and a half. The school had a new leader in me, and were no doubt curious about how it was all going to play itself out. This was one of the first times that most of our classes would even spend considerable time on campus. And I'll be honest and say, I was nervous. In my heart, I knew we had a great task in front of us. After an 18-month break from in-person learning, we would need to rebuild. Lo and behold, as I stood in the middle of campus and watched the students pour in, I began to see groups of students in neon orange and green construction vests, hats, and goggles. Because you see, here at Mitty, it's a tradition for the senior class to have a dress-up day theme on the first day of school. And this year's theme was Constructing the Golden Age, a nod to the critical need to rebuild a community that had been disconnected and interrupted. And as I saw their seniors pour in with their construction gear on, I was filled with all kinds of Monarch pride. The class of 2022 understood the assignment. We gathered outside in the Shot Commons as a full community for our first back-to-school assembly. Tim Westmiller, our director of campus ministry, introduced our liturgical theme and song, Home, by Philip Phillips, to help guide us through the year as we came back together in person as a Mitty community. He shared the lyrics. Settle down, it'll all be clear. Don't pay no mind to the demons, they fill you with fear. The trouble, it might drag you down. If you get lost, you can always be found. Just know you're not alone, because I'm going to make this place your home. And as we settled into the school day, I think we all recognized that we had an important job to do rebuilding this home. And immediately, the class of 2022 went to work. Now, from my limited understanding, when you rebuild a home, there are a few distinct milestone steps to take, the first of which is preparing the construction site. For our rebuild, our beautiful campus was our construction site. For months, while we were Zooming, our world-class facilities and maintenance team was preparing the campus for our return. And once we came back, the buildings and the classrooms and green spaces that just months before had sat empty, waiting for the vibrancy and energy that our school brings, suddenly came to life. As part of our priority to keep our community as safe as possible, we held as many of our all-school liturgies and assemblies outside in the Shot Commons. And our facilities team set up thousands of chairs more times than you can count. So shout out to y'all. You guys really are the best. And with this team support, our construction site was ready for us. The next step in rebuilding a home is to pour the foundation. Now, for you contractors out there, let's assume for the sake of conversation that the key plumbing, sewer, drainage, utility lines are in place. Cool, okay, so don't come up after me after the thing. I know that these are important. So, after that is set, we're going to pour the foundation, and our foundation as a Catholic school community is rooted in the daily walk of acknowledging and deepening our faith in God. The 155 senior members of the Life Team, with their hearts on fire, became a consistent and visible group of working ministers on campus, sharing reflections at all school assemblies and liturgies, offering prayers of petitions, and encouraging morning prayers to start every school day. I knew I would get a friendly wave and smile from Sebastian as he was running off to do the million things that Sebastian does. And our retreat program kicked off with the senior leaders enthusiastically doing their thing and modeling for the younger classes and each other that it really is okay to just be. To be without a phone, to be with each other, to be with yourself, to be with God. And these opportunities to reaffirm our foundation predicated on a loving relationship with God, self, and others was gracefully led by this class of 2022. It was an essential part of our rebuild. And after we poured the foundation, we moved to the next step, completing the rough framing, erecting the structure of our home that provides the framework for our home stability. And here at Mitty, academic scholarship is our framework. It's the 154 seniors who have demonstrated academic excellence by achieving a cumulative 4.0 GPA or better for each of the first 7 semesters. It's the way Claudia, Vidansh, Ray, and Archis from the AMHS robotics team patiently and excitedly showed our Board of Regents just exactly how a robot can actually drain threes like Steph Curry with the help of their autonomous engineering brilliance. It's how the senior speech and debate team members lead the team to place every year in the state and national tournaments. It's the over 2,300 college acceptances received by the class of 2022. But our framing isn't only rooted in academic excellence. Our intellectual competence is built with the materials of justice and critical thinking, just how Rohan, Anusha, and Maria of the Mitty Advocacy Project inspired hundreds of their fellow students to advocate for safer gun laws so we never have another preventable, senseless shooting that takes innocent lives at a school, a store, a place of workshop, or a workplace ever again. It's how Adarsh knew at the bottom of his heart that developing a contactless vital signs monitor was about more than just creating the next new thing. It was about solving a very human problem with the greatest love at the center. This framing was an essential part of the rebuild. And the next step is to complete the rough plumbing, the electrical, the HVAC, to make the house hum with the basic and critical needs, such as the light that Megan brought to this campus as ASB president every single day. When it's hot out, the house needs the coolness that only Julian in his gold lame suit in the pit at our basketball games could bring. And sometimes you need the warmth that Layla and her dad, student activities director Mr. Walker, would bring when they warmed up the dance floor with the wobble at our outdoor dances. After 18 months of blissful quiet, I'm guessing our neighbors were either joining in the fun or still have a few things to say about those. If you're listening, sorry, y'all. These contributions and so many others were an essential part of our rebuild. Next, when you're rebuilding a home, you need to insulate. Insulation helps to regulate the temperature inside the home so it feels comfortable to anyone who spends time there. It constructs a barrier between the inside of your home and the significantly different temperature outside. This year, as it seems to be every year, the outside temperature was stormy. Divisiveness, war, inflation, violence, bigotry, hate. Some days it seemed unbearable. And here at Mitty this year, we did all we could to insulate by working to take meaningful steps towards our expressed desire for a more diverse and inclusive community. Alexa helped with our school-wide inclusivity campaign, where the top answer from this community about what being made in the image and likeness of God means to us was love. And the Monarch newspaper editors, Nathan, Alina, and Maya, continue to hold us accountable on just exactly how we do that. And this past March, the class of 2022 fortified the seal by leading our historic return to the San Jose Civic Auditorium and reminding downtown San Jose that Monarch Madness was back. The next step in rebuilding a home is to complete the drywall, the interior and exterior fixtures. The fixture additions are how a home begins to take even more shape and its character begins to show. Sort of like how Will, Genevieve, Miguel, Sarah, and so many other seniors led a performing arts department to a new world through a magnificent performance season marred with heartbreak, yet ending in pure, joyful perfection. It's like how our athletic teams attacked the moment, led by senior athletes like Isaiah, Kendra, Jade, Gabe, and Sierra, who exquisitely balanced fierce competition with heart, dedication, and grace. We selected fixtures with depth and creativity, like Elon and Benjamin's poetry, and Taryn and other senior art students' masterful interpretation of a kindergartner's drawing. Our fixtures were affixed by the gratitude shown by the 59 seniors who, on the final Kairos retreat in March, laid in an affirmation circle on the grass, looking up at the clouds in the sky, and for a brief moment stopped time to just say thank you. Lastly, to complete a rebuild, you need to finish the trim, install the walkways, the driveway, and ultimately prepare to welcome. We witnessed this final part of the rebuild at Welcome Night last month when 200 seniors RSVP'd to help enthusiastically welcome the newest Monarchs, the freshman class of 2026. And just a little bit ago, the senior editors of the Excalibur yearbook so beautifully laid out the design of our memories, our stories, our photos to help etch this year's rebuild into our hearts forever. All 414 members of this class of 2022 contributed their unique design to this home and has placed an indelible mark that will last forever. There is a Japanese art called kintsugi. It is the Japanese art of repairing broken pottery by mending the areas of breakage with lacquer dusted and mixed with powdered gold, silver, and platinum. As a philosophy, it treats breakage and repair as part of the history of an object rather than something to disguise. Because you see, in order to rebuild, something has to break. And yet there are no perfect rebuilds. There will be mistakes, disappointments, heartbreaks. There will be new cracks that form where old ones fade. The history of Archbishop Mitty High School is rooted in a cycle of growth and rebuilding. Class of 2022, I pray you understand the importance of your leadership this year. It has been an illumination of light and love and courage during a time that will always be part of the history of this school. You all have rebuilt such a beautiful home. My hope for you as you leave Mitty is to never forget the breaks. I know the moments have been hard. I know you have felt fear and worry about what the future will hold. I assure you this is a normal feeling, and just like your now fellow Monarch alums, you will discover that your path, with its troubles, its wonder, and its joy, is uniquely yours to walk. In John 14:1, Jesus says, "Don't be troubled. Trust in God. Trust also in me." I hope that one day you will recognize that God oftentimes breaks us to rebuild us and use us. Let God continue to use you. Choose to be kind. Choose to be light. Choose to be love every single day. Because God loves every part of you just exactly the way you are. And signs of God's love are everywhere. My prayer for all of you is that you keep your eyes open and see them. This love will be the light for the next step in your journey, and trust me, when the troubles come, if you just settle down and have faith, it will all be clear. As I close, I'm reminded that at last year's commencement, I shared that music is my thing. Jessica and I shared this love in common on the March Kairos when we geeked out about Carnegie Hall. because to me, music is the soundtrack to our lives, and I've listened to a lot of music this year. With the little guy at home, there's been a lot of not talking about Bruno in our house. So for this year, I selected the one song that to me just made the most sense for this class. The lyrics are very familiar. They say, "Settle down, it'll all be clear. Don't pay no mind to the demons, they fill you with fear. Troubles, they might drag you down. When you're lost, you can always be found. Just know you're not alone. We're gonna make this place your home." Thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you, class of 2022, for helping to make our school home again. I'm so, so proud of you. May God bless and keep you always, and may you never forget your Archbishop Mitty home. Now to introduce the recipients of the Regents Outstanding Students Award, please help me welcome the principal of Archbishop Mitty High School, Miss Kate Caputo.
Good morning. The Archbishop Mitty High School Board of Regents honors 2 seniors each year at graduation in recognition of overall achievement. The presentation of the Regents Awards will be made today by the President of the Archbishop Mitty High School Board of Regents, Mrs. Kristen Zaney. The first recipient of the Regents Award this year is a truly remarkable young woman who has excelled in a wide variety of ways while a student at Archbishop Mitty. She is an outstanding student who undertook a challenging academic schedule during her time here. She is an engaged, enthusiastic, kind, and collaborative student who adds greatly to every classroom setting. But this young woman's successes are in no way limited to the classroom. She's been a 3-year member of our women's water polo team, a member of our campus ministry life corps team, a leader for both Agape and Kairos retreats, a 2-year member of student government where she chose to serve the wider Mitty community as an ASB Spirit Commissioner in her junior year, and this year as the ASB President. In her capacity as a servant leader, this year's recipient has given to our community selflessly, striving to ensure that each monarch feels welcome and at home. Her diverse involvement across campus made her a standout as an admissions ambassador, where she had the opportunity to speak to countless prospective families as a Visit Mitty ambassador, an open house tour leader, and as a featured presenter at high school information nights. But perhaps her most noteworthy contribution to the Archbishop Mitty community is her innate ability to approach all that she does and all whom she meets with kindness and positivity. Mr. Greg Walker characterized this year's recipient as someone willing to work for the betterment of our entire community with a burning spirit and enthusiasm for all things Mitty. Quite simply, she makes us all better monarchs. She'll be sharing her incredible gifts next year with the student body at San Diego State University. Please join me in congratulating our Regents Award winner for the class of 2022, Megan Campagna. Congratulations, Megan. Our second recipient of the Regents Award is a young man who has contributed significantly to the Archbishop Mitty community. He has involved himself in a wide variety of activities, from athletics to campus ministry to admissions. He has proven himself in the classroom, taking a rigorous and advanced college preparatory course of study. His teachers fully appreciate his insightful contributions to class discussions and his genuine desire to better understand the world around him. Over his 4 years, this year's recipient has immersed himself in the Mitty community. As an active participant in our campus ministry program, he participated in virtually all of our class level retreats, served as a junior leader for Cornerstone, our youth ministry program for freshmen and sophomores, and this year led a Quest retreat as a member of the senior Life Corps leadership team. He is a 4-year member of the men's basketball program, serving this year as a varsity team captain. He is also actively engaged in student life on campus, participating in the Filipino American Student Association, as well as serving on the school student wellness committee. As a member of the admissions team, he has served as an admissions ambassador, welcoming prospective students at events like 7th Grade Day and Open House. His love for Mitty and his knowledge of so many different programs has made him a true asset to the admissions office. Mrs. Westmiller notes that this year's recipient has authentically shared his experiences with prospective families, allowing them a glimpse into what it really means to be a monarch. His contributions to our community are truly invaluable. He will be bringing his many talents with him to the University of California at San Diego next fall. Please join me in congratulating our Regents Award winner for the class of 2022, Isaiah Kabibi. Congratulations, Isaiah. Now to present the Archbishop Romero Award, it is my pleasure to introduce Mr. Tim Westmiller, our Director of Campus Ministry.
The Romero Award, named for the former Salvadoran Archbishop who fought and died for the cause of social justice, draws our attention to the core of the mission of Archbishop Mitty High School. For it recognizes a senior who is deeply committed to the campus ministry program through putting his or her intellect and education at the service of those in need through a keen awareness of our communal commitment to promote social justice in our society and throughout the world. The recipient of this award has the honor of delivering a reflection at the Baccalaureate Mass. Like Oscar Romero, our award winner is not the loudest person in the world. However, her voice for justice and advocacy is crystal clear, deeply rooted in her faith, moving her peers to action. She is a servant leader who has been shaped by her own life circumstances, as she bravely shared with our all-school assembly the Advent liturgy last year. Her personal hardships have only served to strengthen her faith and have taught her how to say yes to those who are on the margins. In her ECJ California class, she dove into learning Catholic social teaching and then applied it with her work in the Mitty Advocacy Project. This year, she served as co-lead for the MAP-X, which coordinates events on Indigenous rights, mental health, gun reform, and voter awareness. She also helped organize the Bay Area Teach-In for Justice, at which she represented her experiences as a BIPOC student to hundreds of students and faculty for Catholic schools in the Bay Area. Again, like Archbishop Romero, our award winner's vision for justice is rooted in faith, ultimately a love for God and God's people. Her faith led her to be a servant leader in our campus ministry program through our Senior Leadership Life Corps, where she was a dedicated member of her base community and led 2 Awakenings retreats for freshmen. Please join me in congratulating and thanking our Archbishop Romero Award winner for the class of 2022, Maria Reyes Plancarte.
The person chosen as the winners of the school's Valedictorian Award has the honor of delivering the valedictory address to all of us this morning. The valedictorian is an individual who is an outstanding student academically, who has maintained an exceptionally high grade point average, has taken the most challenging course load offered at the school, has demonstrated an extraordinary facility in both written and oral expression, is perceived as the top scholar within the senior class by the junior and senior year honors and AP teachers, and who represents to an exceptional degree the values of this school. This year's recipient of the Valedictorian Award is Adarsh Ambadi. Adarsh combines keen powers of insight with a fascination with the world of ideas within a wide array of intellectual interests. Here are but a few of his accomplishments. In 4 years at Mitty, he has maintained a 4.83 grade point average while taking 12 advanced placement courses. And in every class he's taken at Mitty, he's never received a grade lower than an A. He's received Archbishop Mitty departmental certificates on 11 occasions, and just recently he was named the medallion winner in science, and he is a recipient of the school's General Excellence Award. Adarsh is a National Merit finalist and has been designated an AP Scholar with Distinction by the College Board for his record of achievement in AP exams. Adarsh's entrepreneurial spirit and his leadership skills have enhanced the school and the larger community. He invented a bioengineering device that uses computer vision and optical techniques to quantify 5 critical measures of biological health in a completely non-invasive process. He's the founder and director of Grow STEM, an educational initiative that promotes STEM skills in underserved communities, including among children of the homeless. He's devised a smart sprinkler system that tracks and reports on neighborhood water use, enabling neighbors to work together in reducing water waste. And for the past 5 years, he's served on the City of San Jose's District 10 Youth Council, meeting weekly to provide input to city leaders from the point of view of young people. Meanwhile, on campus, Adarsh has been a 4-year member of the 3-time state champion speech and debate team, serving as captain of the expository speech division of that team as he qualified for the state tournament in parliamentary debate. And he's the president of the campus Green Team, an environmental concerns organization dedicated to educating the community on how we might better take care of our planet. Under his direction, the group produced a series of Mitty Minute episodes addressing a community-based approach to confronting crises in the environment. Adarsh will be majoring in environmental systems engineering at Stanford University in the fall. Here to address the community is the valedictorian for the class of 2022, Adarsh Ambadi.
Good morning, parents, teachers, alumni, and of course, class of 2022. Yes, applause. Woo! I'm truly very grateful to be given this opportunity to represent my class in this time-honored tradition. Now, as any teacher that I have given a presentation to can attest, I have a rather difficult time with concision. So please bear with me as I attempt to condense these past 4 years into a single 7-minute speech, hopefully without using too many cliches along the way. Although, please don't hold me to that. Before I address the esteemed graduates, there are a few thank yous that I would like to give out. After all, as a certain science teacher who need not be named, although you do know who you are, likes to say, graduation is not just about you. In fact, it is really about all those folks who got you here today. That being said, thank you to all the parents, hi mom, hi dad, who supported us, all the way to this very point. Just know that even if we do not explicitly say it, we are very much grateful. Thank you to all the teachers who taught us everything that we know, who stayed past school hours as we struggled to learn a formula, who graded hundreds of essays, and who made language, religion, history, science, and art all come alive. Now on to the graduates. On the walls of the Sobrato Student Life Center, amongst the myriad of quotes from history's greats, lies a short, unassuming African proverb. If you want to go fast, go alone. But if you want to go far, go together. It is this proverb that I believe most accurately sums up our journey here at Mitty. So, let's take a moment to look back and see how far we really have gone together. I think we still all remember the shock and awe of our freshman welcome night. Back then, Mitty's accomplished legacy seemed untouchable, and we felt like imposters, idolizing the confidence and intelligence of the older students while doubting that we could ever be in their shoes. Still, although it may have taken some of us a full year, with the help of the such seniors, we truly made this place our home. Then, just as we started getting used to the lay of the land, we had just figured out where that elusive 600 wing is. Disaster struck. You all know what I'm talking about. The COVID-19 pandemic took us all for a storm. As sophomores, we were forced into our homes amidst rising cases, stripped of any comfort or solace that our newly established community could provide. Even as we sat in our rooms, staring at that Johns Hopkins COVID-19 case tracker, we had to learn how to maneuver the complex world of Zoom schooling. And don't even get me started on the bizarre realm of online AP testing. As juniors, we continue to wait patiently with our lives on pause. We cannot escape the walls of our homes, both literally and figuratively. We felt as though we had lost our friends, our teachers, and our community. We felt isolated and alone. Looking back on this challenging period of our time, I realized just how wrong I was. We truly hadn't lost anything. We were not alone. We were still moving together forward with our friends, our teachers, and our community. They were merely obscured from our sight by the lockdowns and the distance. From my teachers letting me join class tens of minutes of late just because my Wi-Fi was down, to my more extroverted friends making sure that I didn't totally become a recluse, I and all of us were surrounded by a shield of love, kindness, and faith that shepherded us throughout the entire pandemic. It was these bonds that gave us the necessary hope to see the glimmers of a brighter future. And mind you, we were not just focused on ourselves. Mitty's Kon Bada drive helped so many farm workers whose struggles only grew exponentially during the pandemic. And every one of us continued to do service hours despite added barriers resulting from the pandemic. We remembered, as Mitty had already prepared us to do, to look beyond ourselves and seeing the suffering and the pain, we took charge to protect our community. Still, as we prepare to move forward out into the real world, I'm reminded of a moderately sobering thought. Our work is not yet done. As the next future leaders of the world, the sheer responsibilities that we have seems daunting. Economic disparities, discriminations, pandemic, mental and public health crises, climate change, and gun violence, just to name a few. The visceral tragedy and pain of the world around us is so evident and so clear. But when we begin to focus solely on these colossal societal problems, we will undoubtedly find ourselves in despair, paralyzed with fear. But when we have the humility to recognize that alongside ourselves walks millions of other youth, getting ready to solve these very same problems, we are filled not with despair, but rather hope. To wit, we must have the hope to believe that change, positive change, is possible, while having the humility to recognize that we cannot possibly do it alone. Here we sit, among over 400 of our peers, with specializations from art to science to math to rhetoric, all willing to help you at the drop of a hat. All we need to do is ask. And please know, this confidence is not unearned. I know that we can build a better future precisely because we've already done so here. Seeing the entire class decked out in construction gear to symbolize the rebuilding of our community was truly inspiring and empowering. We had decided that a return to normalcy was not enough. No, we had needed to show that we had not just survived during the pandemic, but that we had thrived. I've seen this zeal in so many ways this year. In the form of the first ever AP Art Show, wonderfully orchestrated by the amazingly talented Elaine Ma and our other amazingly talented artists. In the form of the consistently award-winning jazz choir and theater program who were finally able to showcase their brilliance in person this year. In the form of our athletics department, which never failed to remind us that there is always something to cheer for. In the form of all the social justice warriors at the Mitty Advocacy Project, like Jay Gupta, Anish Bandhani, Priscilla Kim, and so many more, working hard to right society's wrongs. In these and so many more ways, I believe that we have truly rebuilt our home better and stronger than ever. And I have no doubt that we will do the same with the world. I know that I likely already broke my promise not to dole out cliches, but if I might be permitted to do so just one more final time, we are all connected by invisible bonds. No, seriously. As we prepare to spread around the world, we might feel burdened by all of society's ailments and plagues. We might feel ever so briefly that we are walking out alone, just as we might have felt during the pandemic. But know that we are all connected by invisible bonds that are bound not by distance or time. From here on out, wherever we go, we carry the ideals, the support, and the love that we have gathered from our parents, family, teachers, coaches, directors, friends, and fellow monarchs. Masks on or off, we are always traveling together, and I know, without a doubt, that we will go far. Thank you.
The graduates will now be awarded their diplomas. We ask that during this presentation of the diplomas, all in the audience refrain from sounding loud noisemakers or the like, as every family member would hope to hear its student's name read. Mr. Carl Silva, a member of our English department, faculty will present the graduates, and Ms. Hilton and Ms. Caputo will award diplomas to the class of 2022.
The following students have successfully fulfilled the requirements for graduation at Archbishop Mitty High School as determined by the Diocese of San Jose in consultation with the administration. Madeline Anthi Ashkar. Cameron Agarwal. Allison Michelle Aguirre Alvarez. Axel Afaro. Alex Ali, Adarsh Sairam Ambadi, Natalie Grace Anderson, Christine Antone, Aria Dean Antonio, Vanessa Ariano, Jeremy Arroyo, Som Asher, Ali Aslam, Anusha Anan Athreya, Riley Kate Austin, Aspen Marie Bain, Alyssa Balanon, Luna Victoria Balbuena, Claudia Barbarossa, Alexander Barber, Max Barber, Noemi Faith Barito. Joy Barsum. Shreya Basu. Miguel Dylan Bayonne Jacobson. Kate Mackenzie Behan. Caitlin Bergevin. Anish Badani. Arnav Bardwaj. Rohan Pradeep Bardwaj. Kira Biala. Arthi Biju. Arav Balora. Ava Hope Bilton. Tanay Satish Baradar. Greta Biswell. Arian Bora. Giovanna Ray Bavone. Lindsay Claire Bocock. Gabriel Nitai Brenner. Aiden Burke. Elon Naomi Butler. Jonathan Andrew Cabell. Isaiah Elikai Kabibi. Antonio Cabrera. Mila Serena Caceres. Haley Claire Kaju. Megan Michelle Campagna. Isabella Canales. Marcus Caparis. Lauren Elizabeth Carpanetti. Guadalupe Carrillo Vague. Raquel Christina Casey. Ava Castro. Mateo Cauchi. Charles Allen Byron Servania. Brock Chambers. Brian Songye Chang. Amit Chatot. Vidit Chavakar. Ashley Melanie Chavez Bravo. Ryan Chen. Jay Chatwal. Chanel Chu. Anthony Chuang. Owen Chun. Jack David Clisby. Sam Clisby. Savannah Brooke Comer. Matthew Cordova. Mateo Giuseppe Corral. Sean Joseph Corral. Daniela Cortez. Matthew James Cosentino. Adriana Covarrubias. Yasmin Damu. Brooke Elizabeth Del Ponte. Matthew Edward Dean. Nathan Dean. Riley James de Guzman. Arya Deshmukh. Jacob Alexander Devon. Megan Lee Devon. Nathan Denani. Sophia Diaz. Kiara Janae Dixon. Douglas Doan. Ria Marion Dominic. Veer Doshi. Roman Domanian. Daniel Dry. Reagan Varno Dryden. AJ Dursey. Nathan Elias. Natalie Rochelle Enman. Isabella Essler. Christopher Mateo Farias. Jake Farrell. Jasmine Floresca. Morgan K. Fulmer. Calvin Fong. Tristan George Fox. Sophia Grace Freitas. Justin Fusilero. Avery Margaret Gran. Agustin Garcia Jr., Luke Garcia, watch out, Brendan Gasca, Vikram Gedapudi, Joshua Geisey, Ashay Gia, Jackson Lawrence Gunawan, Vedansh Goenka, Armando Martin Herrero Gonzalez, Nakeith Godapati, Cooper Scott Graham, Jackson Joseph Green, Robert Griswold, Amy Kayla Gruber, Jay Gupta, Sienna Marie Gutadaro, Kyle Haggerty, Madison Elizabeth Hanahan, Caitlin Elizabeth Haniger, Rachel Marie Hartnett, Drew Marguerite Hazenkamp, Meredith Hastings, Thomas James Hayes, Rihanna Karuba Henry, Allie Diane Hernandez, Gabriela Alede Hernandez, Abigail Hernandez Francisco, Natalie Hernando, Nicholas Herrera, Daniel Hertz, Jamie Nicole Hicks, Michaela Lynn Hilberman, Alexander Boo Horn, Eli Sue, James Huang, Taylor Rosemary Werta, Skylar Renee Hunt, Yusian Hong, Lily Jane Hyun, Kelly Ilmi, Elizabeth Imperito, Gabriela Satuko Imura, Devin Venkat Iyer, Kartik Shankar Iyer, Maxina Annika Jacobs-Kruger, Lila Jameson, Ashley Janis, Mackenzie Rose Jata, Sangwan John, Aiden Spencer Jepsky, Aiden Joe, Matthew Dean Johnson, Gianna Marie Jones, Elizabeth Joseph, Kara Yuju Wan, Carla Mireya Julian Astria, Rahil Amar Kapadia, Sahil Kata, Jeffrey Key, Ray Kennedy, Taryn Ryan Kern, Ginny Kim, Minso Kim, Priscilla Yunta Kim, Laurel Nicole Klinger, Zachary Knight, Isabella Jacqueline Kolick, Nishank Kola, Ellie Maria Cohn, Riley Kong, Brady Kuhn, Abai Kopartika, Maya Kujimski, Anish Kudatara, Anirudh Lahiri, Clarissa Langub, Sam Edward Lau, Scott Edward Lau, Aaron Angeles Larmore, Noah Lee, Fabry Isabella Lewis, Brian Ling, Irene Lee, Brian Lee, come on back, Irene Lee, Jason Lee, Jennifer Lee, Charlize Cerizo Lim, Michael Lim, Andre Lin, Christopher Lin, Ian Lin, Sophia Rose Lorman, Antonio Lopez, Bettina Marie Lorette, Kyle Liu, Umaya Isobel Globug Loving, Elaine Ma, Kendra Alina McDonald, Declan McLean. Julia May Malari, Jason Kreisman Mali, Alex Malone, Bridget Caroline Maloney, Abhinaya Manimoran, Cody Marenshaw, Athena Burnett Espiritu Marquez, Sarah Elizabeth Mason, Nathan Cordoni Matherly, Eric John Matsumoto, Christina Grace Mao, Helena Sylvia Modu, Justin Alec Maxwell, Christina Robertson Maxwell, Alexa Gail Mayorga, Christina Nicole McCann, Allison Elise McCumbee, Christopher Anthony McDonald, Genevieve Elizabeth McKenzie, Riley Brian McNair, Ryan Michella, Karina Medizadeh, Kirsten Lovely De La Rosa Mejia, Antonio Mele, Mark Keon Pansoy Mercado, Elise Lynn Merritt, Sarah Catherine Messler, Elizabeth Christina Meldy, Cole Miller, Callahan Carmel Mills, Colin Michael Mills, Jacob Min, Arnav Mishra, Ishan Mishra, Kento Mita, Advaith Modali, Jennifer Emily Moore, Michaela Grace Moore, Joseph Francisco Rulo Morera, Kate Francis Morris, Jay Morrison, Jacob Arthur Mueller, Benjamin Chaming Mui, Amea Moulet, James Joseph Murphy, Jade Iris Murray, Vikram Nagapudi, Vivek Nadarajan, Akin Nair, Madison Linda Nazarian, Madison Ing, Kevin No, Alexandra Gloria Wynn, Catherine Newen, Dustin Newen, Grace Newen, Natalie Newen, Danielle Alexander Noel. Hey Danielle, how are you doing? Nicholas O'Brien, Rena Angela Okuda, Isabel Olier, Joshua Paul Oliveira, Asia Monet Omego Alvarado, Genevieve Perez Ordonez, Alfredo Orozco, Esteban Moises Osuna, Jared Otaka, Lindsay Barrett Padden. Anna Kelly Page. Terrence Pye. Alexis Penlilio. Stella Park. Dhruv Patel. Roman Patti. Pratha Patel. Mia Pesavento. Madeline Elizabeth Foff. Minon Pham. Michael Pitnacha. Prasad Puskar. Christopher Michael Pordon. Carmen Mariah Prabhu. Ryan Christopher Prabhu. Asta Prakash. Krish Prasad. Jeshwin Prince. Ren Sophia Prinso. Fiona Pokney. Yen Kwan. Nira Quintero. Abhinav Raghavendra. Reshab Ragineni. Ross Raneri. Marissa Prishi Raj. Taylor Rako. Anutam Ramji. Elijah Velarde Ramos. Samir Rao. Archish Ray. Reese Reed. Ryan Reeves. Joshua Wren. Nathan Reyes. Victoria Luzmila Reyes. Maria Candelaria Reyes Blancarte. Kylie Sue Reynolds Martin. Rachel Giuliani Romero. Jorge Rubicalva. Eric Rolkins. Grace Margaret Ruth. Isabella Grace Sago. Delilah Salem. Jonathan Sampson. Jacob Sanchez. Anne Sanchez Garcia. Kaya Marion Rose Santana. Lucy Olivia Saunders. Sophia Terese Schill. Ava Scott. Anthony Marcello Sebastian. Krina Raja Shah. Julian William Sharon Sewell. Devin Shim. Michaela Grace Shoemake. Erica Schulda. Stephanie Elizabeth Sifferman. Angela Guadalupe Sigala. Natalie Silver. Arnav Vijay Simha. Rosalind Joanna Simka. Sarah Isabella Simoni. Maya Felice Bernal Smested. Brett Smith. Nicolina Marie Smith. Ellen So. Chelsea Isabel Esmeralda Soriano. Zachary Spence. Ashley Splain. Matthew Eric Stafford. Tara Jacqueline Sterick. Madeline James Stinson. Ella Sue. Holly Elizabeth Sunquist. Shania Sutataria. Rikio Suzuki. Jessica Evelyn Taddeo. Sydney Sierra Taloma. Aaron Royce Hulipas Tamayo. Daniel Tang. Rohan Tawade. Madison Noella Teresi. Taryn Tang. Lakshmi Tangam. Amira Thomas. Sierra Marie Thomas. Ananya Tori. Rania Jacqueline Tobin. Jason Matthew Toliao. Andrew Ton. Michael Francis Mata Toting. Jeremy Toe. Shane Masato Toyama. Christopher Tran. Mai Tran. Sean Tran. Joshua Tucker. Ariana May Umayam. Alexander James Ursulo. Zachary Lee Valdez. Gabriela Catalina Valle. Camille Emilia Van Bruana. Amy Ferguson. Xander Velasco. Anthony Frank Ventura. Kaya Elizabeth Verhove. America Ann Vernoy. Alina Interior Villaroman. Katerina Mashal Vlahu Poliotis. Aaron Vu. Layla Walker. Julia Walsh. Madeline Skylar Betsy Wang. Nathan Wang. Christoph Washington. Ben Webster. Jessica Nicole Worthman. Maya Wheeler. Alina Whitney. Alexander Yenli Wong. Kyle John Wook Wu. Richard Albert Yang. William Yang. William Harold Yeaman. Ariana Ye. Samara Kapakin Yellen. Sebastian Joseph Young. Claudia Ines Zacarias. Franklin Zhang. Gavin Zhang. Luke Zhang. Leonardo Uchida Zhao. Leo Zhu. Sheen Zuchi. Kelly Ann Zabura. Jim, I got it. Ladies and gentlemen, we present to you the class of 2022.
Okay, graduates, I'm going to ask you to return to your seats, please. Our ceremony this morning will conclude with a blessing. Father Daniel Garcia will lead us in prayer. Please stand.
At your birth, God's breath filled you with life. Today we celebrate what you have become at this moment in time, and so we pray. God of our beginnings, we thank you for the gifts of these graduates, their excitement, their awesome wonder and curiosity, their open speech and encouraging words. Their contributions have blessed and challenges us and have become a richer and more diverse community because of them. As they step forward into the world that awaits them, comfort their fears with the full knowledge of your divine presence. Strengthen their resolve to walk in the footsteps of Jesus as modern-day disciples in a world that needs their spirit. Guide their feet as they move through life, protecting them from the pitfalls of darkness while they help to lead future generations into the warmth and promise of your light. We ask this blessing upon each of them in the name of the Father, and of the Son, and of the Holy Spirit. Amen.
At this time, I would ask that all guests and graduates please be seated. The administration and faculty will leave at this time, and the graduates will follow. Guests are asked to remain seated until they are dismissed by sections. Once dismissed from their sections, guests should exit through the same gate which they came through. This afternoon, we will have a reception outside of Schott Commons if you'd like to join us for that. Thank you for joining us today, and thank you, class of 2022. Congratulations.